What's going on? Upma76X here, and today I'm going to be showing you a game that I played not too long ago. I want to say this was in patch 6.13, and I'm playing Graves mid. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, why would you take Graves mid? Well, I think it's actually not that bad, and I'll explain why. Um, this is something I've been doing this season, Season 6 in particular, since they changed Graves. I think it's not that bad, honestly. Especially like earlier on, people were taking like Corki mid in the season, and then they really nerfed Corki. They changed Graves around a little bit, but they didn't quite nerf him. But basically, the reasoning is he's a good AD pick. So if you have some AP already, you don't need more AP. Um, you want or yeah, so you want to go with an 80, like an 80 carry. 80 carries I feel are pretty okay mid. The only problem is they usually don't have the best wave clear or CC. Graves, on the other hand, has pretty solid wave clear with his Q. He can push the wave really easily with his auto attacks, and has a unique type of CC, and he's really tanky too. And you'll see here, I lucked out. This guy picked Fizz, and Graves really isn't that bad against Fizz because he's a melee, so you can really abuse him, as most AD carries do. Um, so it started with a standard Doran's Blade Red Pot for my start. So the big change with Graves was they made it, like before, it worked out even better because you didn't have to build any crit items. Now you do. You have to build crit items, but it's really not that bad either because the crit items you build, well, the Phantom Dancer is your primary crit item that you build, and that makes you even tankier. So, if you don't know what the Phantom Dancer does, it gives you a lot of attack speed and some crit chance, and lets you move faster towards targets, like champions. But the big thing is, it gives you, I believe it's a 12% damage reduction to whatever target you're fighting. So with the way Graves is, being so inherently tanky, that makes him even that much more tanky. On top of which, he has a ridiculous amount of burst. So even though he is like super tanky, he's basically like, how can I put it? He's like a bruiser almost, but like with assassin damage, kind of like Wukong, sorta, except like just like from a damage perspective. I mean, um, so one thing to note is, so basically the big change with Graves, since they reworked him was, or not reworked, the changes to his passive after the rework is he gets less buckshots on his normal auto attacks. I believe he gets 3 buckshots. He gets 3 pellets. But if he crits, he gets 6. So he actually gets more. So watch, I'm going to get ganked here. Yeah, see, pointless. So that's why you need to build crit before he got more buckshots per auto attack. Like he got like 4 or 5 or something ridiculous, which is really intense because you get you can hit the same target with multiple pellets. Each pellet hit does a little less damage. I want to say it's roughly 30% less damage. But I mean, it's with all of them hitting at the same time. Like you'll notice if I hit a target with 1 pellet, it only does like 70 damage right now. But if I hit it with like more, it does a lot more. So I'm backing here. The only problem is I'm not really using my mana wisely. But I'm just gonna get a second Doran's Blade, boots, and I sell this. And I like, in my last video, I played Olaf, I said how much I like getting this. Truthfully, I probably should have used the red pot first before doing that. Oh, cool! My bottom lane got first blood. Oh yeah, I remember now. This Sivir does really well, like really well bottom lane. Yeah, we have enough AP damage from my top and jungle So I figure Graves might not be that bad here. Yeah, my bottom lane does do really well, I remember now. Hey man, I signaled that the guy was missing. See that? I'm not gonna spam it a million times because I know they're not gonna pay attention. So the reason why this works, and I'm not saying it'll always work, but it works for me. Just I don't know because I play the champion enough. But the wave clear you get from your Q and just outright damage. You saw how much I just chunked Vi there. So Graves' damage from his Q is not so much going in. I mean, it does okay damage. Like it's not great, honestly. But on the way back, it's like ridiculous. And I think the overall damage is like in the mid 300s plus like 175% bonus AD. It's ridiculous amount of damage, and they nerfed that too. They nerfed it, and it still does that much damage. That's ridiculous base damage. You hit them with both parts. Generally, what you can do is you can EQW a target, or not EQ. You want to just Q auto attack a target, and you can drop your W on them. And if you run Thunderlords like I do, you'll get a ton of burst damage. Their ult does tons of damage in team fights. Bam. Farm is not so hot right now. I'm not going to steal that CS because the bottom lane is doing pretty damn well. I think here I just decide to opt to go more tanky. You don't need to do this, but it is basically a necessity if you're going to go against mages to rush at least a Hexadrinker. You don't have to go for the full Maw, but I like going for the Maw. I like just building the item outright. I really like the Maw. It gives you a lot of bonus stats. The shield is like 310, and it gives you a lot of lifesteal. I think Spellvamp too, if I'm not mistaken. Which is also good for Graves. Oh, look at that. Bam. So yeah, the CC, he doesn't offer any hard CC, which is kind of a problem. That's kind of what you want from a lot of your mid laners. But the zone, he still offers zone control. And honestly, his yeah, look, he can't even fight me. If my ult was up, he would have been dead right there. But so the thing about his W, the smoke screen, is it offers a pretty okay slow any enemies in it, but the thing is they can't see at all, and I'm sure if you've been inside that smoke screen you know what it's like. And it's I'm not going to say it's the best form of soft CC, but it's a really good one because they can't target anybody. It's not like they're silenced. Like Fizz could easily get out of it with his E, but like, ooh, gonna catch this guy. This is our fight. Oh, what happened? Oh wow, I didn't know he could dodge it like that. Usually it just follows you no matter what. But in any case, they want to get out of the smoke screen, especially now. Like they did buff that, I believe, during the I think they just buffed the blindness like that in general. Not like Teemo's blind, but like Quinn's blind and Graves, and it's like way better now. Oh, he failed so hard. So right there, if you hit your Q on a wall, it comes back like 3 times as fast. It used to be instant, which was even more broken, made it work even better. But now it's not instant anymore. But you have to be careful because if you like try and like you can't Q through a wall, it will come right back like almost immediately. Sweet. So I get their blue buff. That's the other good thing too. If you auto attack any targets, they get knocked back. So that's also why Graves can jungle so effectively. If you were wondering, if you're like, why do you keep seeing Graves in the jungle? That would be why. I honestly don't think Graves is that great of a AD, an actual AD carry anymore, because the champions down there are so much better. but I think he is better in the solo roles. Top lane, he's actually pretty good too, because he just has constant pressure and it just irritates people. So I'm debating on getting the Black Cleaver there, which would be an okay item on him, but realistically, what you want to get is that would actually be a really good item on him because of the phage and the armor pen and the health. But what you want to get is Death's Dance and Phantom Dancer. Those are your two core items. But in this situation, especially because it's a Fizz, you basically need to go with the Hexa Drinker. Yeah, so my CS is a little bit low, but I've been roaming around doing stuff. My team is doing pretty well, though, overall. Yeah, that was sloppy. I definitely use my spells too much, but I'm basically just trying to push it up because I'm trying to punish him for leaving the lane. What I'm probably going to do here is jump and then flash and then... Yeah. So, between your dash, your ult, and a flash, you can cover a lot of distance like I just did there. Lifesteal back up. Yeah, if you only get 2 shots, so this is one of the more difficult learning curves with Graves, I suppose. I didn't have much problem with it. It can get you early on though. You only get 2 buckshots for your auto attacks, but you can dash. You use your E, and it resets it, so you get 3 autos off really fast. And attack speed lets you reload faster, which is again why the Phantom Dancer is so good. See a pink ward there. Not gonna die for it though. I don't know where their jungler is. But yeah, this has been working for me a lot this season. A lot more than a lot of people would expect. Like I don't know exactly how many games. I have like roughly 20, and like I said, my win rate's pretty good on it. It's like around 65% or so. I think it mostly just has to do with the burst damage, just unexpected. Plus the fact that you have 280 carries on a team. And honestly, oh, this guy's so dead. Oh, okay, no, we're not. Guess not. He didn't have flash, he was so dead. Just waiting for the gold. There we go. If I recall, I'm gonna have a pretty solid 1v1 with Fizz here. Pretty soon. I played this game earlier in the week. I think this was before the patch, so... But this is a pretty good pick, especially if you have to pick early on too. That's the other thing. A lot of the times, if I have to like first pick my solo lane champion, which I often do. Oh yeah, here we go. Fight me. Actually, if he fights me right here, he'd have an advantage because I don't have my ult up. I do have ignite. I do have like the ult does so much damage between your ult and your Q. Oh, here we go. He just says screw it because I see Elise right there. Graves is also good for taking out the Scuddler because his auto attack pushes it back and stuns it, which is, if you don't know, the Scuddler takes a lot more damage after it gets hard CC'd. But yeah, look at the wave clear. Once I actually get 80 items, like that's just going to be instant wave clear. Level 11, pretty good power spike. I saw Vi, so I just ran away. You don't. It's not quite as much as a flash, but it's still a decent amount of distance traveled when you ult, which is pretty nice. It basically allows you to peel for yourself and help you kite better. And even like even if you don't kite that great, Graves is a lot more forgiving than like any other AD carry. Oh, so I used my ulti already, but yeah, it's just too. He can't even after he had every advantage there, and he still lost the trade. The only advantage I had was I had my ignite. I just show my my flag there. Because that was great. He had every advantage there, but he had to get out of the smoke screen. And my team is just now like they're like, oh no, look out, enemies are missing, and then it's like he's dead, Fizz is dead, push. So that's pretty good. But you can build this guy a lot of different ways. But the main way I go, the main way you really want to go is a Phantom Dancer with Death Stance, because between those two items, you get a lot of damage and you get a lot of tankiness that's unaccounted for, really. And with that and your E, like it's just so much damage that you mitigate. So I'm gonna use that. Oh god, they're so dead. Yeah. So the other thing too, what happened there is because I ulted Fizz, I get the damage off on him, and then he has to hurry up and use his E instead of just letting it fall naturally, which basically makes it so his E doesn't even hit me there. I mean, it does actually. Yeah, it didn't hit me because the way Fizz's E works is if you just let your E fall naturally on Fizz, you do like double the AoE radius for the damage. But if you just like quickly use it, it's just like really like basically right where Fizz's character is. It's very small. It's like half, maybe even less. So basically what I'm trying to say is between the ult, I get a ton of spike damage on him, and then he doesn't do the damage in me. So it's like a free trade. I loved this jungler because he just kept giving me all the blue buffs in the game because oh god, this guy's awesome. About to get the Mountain Drake here. Hopefully I go over the, I want to know how much damage I'm actually doing between my Q and my R. It's too much for most to handle. I mean, it is kind of, if you were going against like an AD mid champion, you could just rush the Phantom Dancer, obviously. And honestly, that's more optimal if you go to the Phantom Dancer into the Death Stance. But against AP, it's better to do this, in my opinion. And clearly, you would change the boots out, unless they have a ton of CC on their team. Yeah, I couldn't tell if I queued the wall right there. If I did, that's just a little see. Yeah, Mountain Drake's good. I'd have to say that the Mountain Drake, it's a tough call, but I have to say it's either second It's either the second best or tied for second best with the water rig. Oh no. Oh no. I fucked up right here. But I still might get out. No, I'm dead. I messed up so hard. I got too greedy there. I thought I could maybe kill them before they could do anything to me. How did that not catch him? He ran right on it. He ran literally right on it. How did he not get hit by the shark there? You have to really be like. Do you have to really be right in the center of that? I mean, jeez. I love being a spider. Oderman. But the thing about this though is he's particularly good into melee matchups because he punishes melee champions so hard. Against Aurelia though, might be a little bit difficult because Aurelia is so damn strong right now. But oh my god, is he giving me red buff? Oh my god, what a saint. Oh god, this guy is awesome. Um, but after the Death's Dance, I would probably have to go into probably gonna end up going into a an Infinity Edge. Although I don't know if the game will last that long. That would probably be the most optimal. Just to up the crit chance. The damage, obviously. But after that, I wouldn't build any more crit items. It was so much nicer, too, before. And truthfully, you don't, like, because you wouldn't have to build the crit items. And the Maw Malmortius was actually even stronger back then. Because it gave attack speed when the shield procced. Ah, oh, damn, I missed everyone with my ulti. But even Vi can't do any damage to me. Even she can't do any damage to me. Your E stacks its passive multiple times. So it like every time you auto attack, it just keeps going up. So it's kind of like his old passive, but it's like put on his dash. That's part of the reason why he's so damn strong now. Now he's just got this super overloaded kit. He basically just has like a new Q and his old Q is his auto attacks. That's basically how it feels, except that the Q doesn't travel through every minion like it did before, but that's okay. This new Q does. My CS is pretty abysmal, but that's also mostly because I've just been roaming around. Honestly, I'm just not even last hitting that well on him. But it really doesn't matter just because we've been roam squatting and killing all of them. I mean, clearly it matters, but maybe I'm just trying to make excuses as to why I'm not CSing so well. He doesn't have the best wave clear, but it's pretty solid for an AD carry. It's a lot better when his Q did the 60 extra base damage. Now, I would have to say you're probably better off if you want to go like a tanky mid laner. If you want to go like a tanky mid laner like Swain or Vladimir is probably better. But this is just a fun pick. I like to play, and And also, it's pretty good as a blind pick too. And truthfully, I don't have Swain or Vladimir unlocked on this account yet. Actually, I don't even know if I want to play Vladimir. I don't really like the Champions kit very much. I do like Swain. That damage. And she's dead. But just a quick rundown. Oh, I don't even have... How do I not have the Phantom Dancer? Wow, I messed up this so hard. I should have gone with the Phantom Dancer first, not the Death's Dance. That's pretty lolzy. Wow, I can't believe I did that. Yeah, you're supposed to go with the Phantom Dancer first. It's cheaper and more effective. Actually, that's not entirely true. It's okay to go with the Death's Dance first, but you need to get the Phantom Dancer right after it. But in this situation, I should have gone with the Phantom Dancer after finishing the Maul and the Mortius. Pardon me. In any case, I'm about to get it right here anyway, so it doesn't matter. And if I don't get it, then that's just so trolltastic. The if I don't go with a Infinity Edge after a Phantom Dancer, a really good alternative would be a Bloodthirster, because that'll give me so much lifesteal and it'll make me even tankier with the shield. So basically a quick rundown of what the build is supposed to be like. Oh, let's see what happens here. I think I say screw this. Oh, that's fucking Fizz. Yeah, I remember why I flashed over the wall, because I saw Fizz jump over the wall. I realized I didn't get the kill on him, so I flashed back over the wall. But normally I would have just killed him right there. You do get more wave clear with the more AD you get, obviously. So that's also another reason why you might want to go with it. Plus, he has a pretty shitty attack speed anyway, but the tankiness you get from the Phantom Dancer is just too much. So okay, so I've been trying to say this. So the Phantom Dancer gives you a 12% damage reduction to any enemies you're hitting, right? The last enemy that you attack, you get a 12% damage reduction from. Then with the Death's Dance, you get a 15% of the damage dealt is converted into a burn, so it's not like instant damage. So I'm probably just backing here just to buy the item. But I have so much damn money, I'll probably just buy an actual good item outright. Nope, okay, I do eventually get it, and then I'm like, maybe I'll get a GA. You do get a little bit of armor pen from the Phantom or not the Phantom Dancer, the Maul Malmortius. But the fact that I have to build a Maul Malmortius is kind of agitates me a little bit, because then I don't have enough space for Last Whisper. I want to fight that so bad, but I have no teammates. I have no inhibitors. I can't leave the base. This is the safest Baron call ever. Also, if you're going against an all-AD team with those two items, you can then build Ninja Tabby, and then it's even more damage reduction. Well, I mean, the Ninja Tabby's for auto attacks. Wow, that was a fast Baron. But that's the ideology behind the build. And again, because of all that just flat damage reduction, you have to also think about all the bonus stats you get from your E. So you're super tanky, and then the lifesteal you get from all your AD abilities from the Death's Dance is just it's a really good build. It's really fun. I would say try it out. This was a ranked game,